Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw, number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGN, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan, Kool FM. You are listening to Kool FM. Live from Kool Studios. This is koolNews at 4.
Good afternoon, and welcome to koolNews at 4. The House of Representatives is ready to take swift and decisive action to ensure the approval of the 6.352 trillion peso budget for 2025 and other priority bills before the end of September, according to Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. He also said the chamber is set to pass possible additional measures that would be highlighted during the upcoming State of the Nation address of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. before the end of September. The 2025 national budget is essential for sustaining our nation's growth and addressing the immediate needs. Its swift approval to support our development and progress, his statement on Sunday read. He said the Department of Budget and Management will submit to Congress the 6.352 trillion peso national expenditure program on July 29, or within 30 days after the SONA. As stated other the 1980s timely transmission of the national budget, 10% higher than this year's allocation of 5.768 trillion pesos to the Senate. After Congress approves it, the NEP what becomes the General Appropriations Bill that the President would sign into law. Okay, let me repeat, okay? For some reason. Okay. He added that the House will ensure the timely transmission of the national budget, 10% higher than this year's allocation of 5.768 trillion pesos to the Senate. After Congress approves that, the NEP becomes the General Appropriations Bill that the President will sign into law. We are committed to completing the legislative agenda by passing these crucial measures. They are vital for our nation's progress and prosperity, and we will ensure they are enacted swiftly and effectively, Romualdez said. The House has diligently prioritized LDAC, or Legislative Directive Development Advisory Council, bills, leading to substantial progress, with over 12,000 measures filed and 75 bills enacted into law. He added, below are the following measures that were enacted: the Acting Emancipating Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries from Financial Burden, the Act Establishing the Maharlika Investment Fund, the Act Rotationalizing the Disability Pension of Veterans, the Act Establishing Specialty Centers in DOH Hospitals and GOCC Specialty Hospitals, the Act Establishing the National Employment Master Plan Trabajo para sa Bayan, the Act Protecting Online Consumers and Merchants Engaged in Internet Transactions, the Ease of Paying Tax Act, the Act Granting Benefits to Filipino octogenarians and non-octogenarians, the Act Maintaining Educational institutions to allow disadvantaged students to take examinations. Examinations despite unpaid fees. The Act Protecting Protectors in the movie and television industry. The Act institutionalizing teaching allowance for public school teachers, the Act extending the availment of the tax amnesty, and the Act mandating private higher educational institutions to waive college entrance examination fees for certain students. Among the three of the 28 LETAC bills still up for approval in the lower chamber are amendments to the Electric Power Industry Reform Act, the Agrarian Reform Law, and the Foreign Investors Long-Term Lease Act. Police anti-narcotics agents arrested three suspected illegal drug traffickers in severed by bus operations on Saturday and Sunday, July 13 and 14 in Rizal Province. The operations yielded more than 275,000 pesos worth of shabu, the police region for a said in the report. Police in Rodriguez town busted man at 2:05 a.m. Sunday after he sold 3,000 pesos worth of shabu to a poster buyer in a transaction in Barangay Geronimo. The operatives seized from the suspect 12 plastic sachets containing crystal meth weighing a total of 30 grams with an estimated dangerous drugs board value of 204,000 pesos. The police also confiscated a motorcycle believed to have been used by the suspect in his illegal drug business. The report tagged the suspect as a person included in the drugs watch list as an HVI or high value individual in the local drug street. In Antipolo City, anti-narcotic agents nabbed Bong and Jay in Barangay Sanjo around 8:34 p.m. on Saturday. The suspects yielded 71,400 pesos worth of shabu. Authorities seized one mobile phone from the suspects during the operation. The phone will be examined to see if it has records of drug administrations. Drug sections. The Rizal police are conducting further investigation to determine the source of the illegal drugs. The arrested suspects are under police custody and will face a formal complaint for violating the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Over 2,000 residents from South Cotabato province are in favor of the resolution seeking to create Barangay Juan Loreto Tamayo in Tupi, according to the Commission on Elections COMELEC. Based on the certificate released by COMELEC to the media on Sunday, 2,485 of the 9,765 registered voters in the community were asked if they agreed to the formation of the new barangay. The activity is in accordance with Sangguing Ang Panglalawigan Resolution number 158 series of 2023. Barangay Juan Loreto Tamayo will be created from three existing barangays of Cebuano, Lilang, and Miasong. Of the 2,485 voters, 2,393 or 96% voted yes, while 89 voters or 3% voted no, the certificate showed. Broken down, 1,294 voters came from Barangay Cebuano, 569 from Lilang, and 622 from Miasong. In a separate statement issued on Saturday night, COMELEC attributed the peaceful conduct of the plebiscite to the Philippine National Police, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, with the full support of the local government unit. Lawmakers of the House of Representatives are calling on the Chamber's leadership to probe into the revelation or revelation of the National Bureau of Investigation that nearly 200 fake birth certificates were issued to some Chinese from 2018 to 2019. These documents were reportedly all processed by the Civil Registry of Santa Cruz Town in Davao del Sur. Members of the so-called Young Guns aired their sentiments in a joint statement on Sunday following reports that a Chinese was arrested after applying for a passport in Davao City using a falsified document. We must understand that the birth certificate is more than just a document. It symbolizes a Filipino's connection to their country. It is the first official document that every Filipino receives as their birthright, establishing their official tie to the nation, Double Oriental Representative Gino Miguel Almario said. This is not something that can be easily given, fabricated, milled, or bought. Some madaling salita, the Filipinos are not for sale. Dapat walang peking Pilipino, he stressed. We need to strengthen our legislative framework to ensure rigorous verification processes are in place for the issuance of birth certificates. This includes enhancing the capabilities of local civil registries, implementing more robust checks and balances, and imposing severe penalties on those found guilty to be facilitating such fraud, he added. Aside from Almario, other lawmakers calling for an investigation are Zambales Representative J. Quijón, Lanao del Sur Representative Zia Alonto Adong, Acopicco Representative Jill Bongkalon, La Union Representative Apollo Artiga, One Rider Party List Representative Roque Gutierrez, and Ino Davy of Isabela. Citing reports, lawmakers said Heng Son Lemos Nardro, identified initially as Han Lin Q by the NBI, was colored by authorities at the Department of Foreign Affairs office in Ecolan, Davao City. The arrest happened as Lemos Nero was applying for a Philippine passport using a fake birth certificate. Lemos Nero was among 200 Chinese who acquired falsified birth certificates from the Municipal Civil Registry in one town. We are outraged by these reports. Ang kakagalit at nagkakalangkot pa dito, baka may link sa mga criminal and drug syndicates ang mga Chinese nationals na na-issuehan ng peking birth certificates, Kim Hong-hoon lamented. The lawmaker chairs the House Committee on Business Conversion. They probably also found the easiest route to secure spurious documents to conceal their true identities and citizenship to continue their nefarious activities here in the country. Kailangang itong imbestigahan ng Kongreso, he pointed out. For his part, Adiong wanted to know if these foreigners had a backer. The issuance of falsified birth certificates to foreign nationals comprises the integrity of our civil registration system, undermines the trust of the Filipino people, and poses a significant threat to national security, said Adiong. He heads the House ad hoc Committee on Marawi Rehabilitation and Victims Compensation. It is imperative that the House of Representatives launches an immediate and thorough investigation into this matter in aid of legislation to prevent such egregious breaches from reoccurring, he said. Ipanawag na Likewise, Artica said the alleged reports on Chinese infiltrators armed with falsified Philippine birth certificates pose a threat to the Philippines' national security. For his part, Gutierrez pointed out these actions might become an avenue for criminal activities such as identity theft, human trafficking, and smuggling. These individuals could potentially exploit their newfound status to engage in activities detrimental to our country, including espionage, economic sabotage, and other criminal enterprises, he said. These crimes not only endanger the lives and welfare of Filipino citizens, but also tarnish our international reputation and relations, he warned. And suspended Bambang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo's accountant, Nancy Gamo, is now under the custody of the Senate following her arrest on Saturday afternoon, according to Senate President Francis Chis Escudero. Citing General Roberto Angcan of the Senate's Office of the Surgeon and at Arms, Escudero's office revealed that Gamo was arrested around 1 p.m. She underwent a medical checkup before she was taken to Senate detention. Gamo was found in good health condition according to the OSAA. Last July, Tate's Senate panel on women cited Guo and others for contempt and ordered their arrest for skipping the chamber's hearing on the local officials' alleged ties to a Philippine offshore gaming operator and Tarlac. The order covers Guo and Gamo, as well as Dennis Cunanan, Wenli Lin, Simin L. Guo, Juan Sihong Guo, Wesley Guo, and Sheila Guo. However, OSAA teams deployed to garment factories in Marilao, Bulacan, and Venezuela City were not able to find the Guo siblings and Cunanan. Coming up on koolNews at 4 as we take a look at what exactly happened with Trump's assassination attempt. And Kremlin wants Russia could target Europe if US deploys missiles, and more international headlines along with national headlines coming up on koolNews at 4. Stick around, we will be right back. Welcome back. Now let's get into what exactly happened with Donald Trump's assassination attempt. Donald Trump narrowly escaped an assassination attempt at a political rally Saturday, leaving the FBI hunting for information about how a gunman could attack a former US president. Here is a blow-by-blow account of the shooting in Pennsylvania where one Trump supporter was killed. Dressed in a white shirt, dark blazer, and bright red mugga scarf, Trump was railing against illegal immigration when shots rang out at 6:08 p.m. Take a look at what happened, he said, his words cut off by 4 shots in quick succession. Trump grabbed his right ear as repeated shouts of "Get down" were heard before a 5th and 6th shot. The former president lodged down behind the lectern as Secret Service agents moved in around him. Screams were heard in the crowd. Within 4 seconds, further shots were fired, prompting more supporters to get down while additional agents rushed to the stage. 17 seconds after the first shot, a final pop was heard and a woman screamed. 3 heavy armed members of the security forces moved onto the stage 22 seconds after the shooting started. Secret Service agents swiftly shared instructions such as "We're clear" and "Let's move" before they lifted up the Trump. Visible once more around 1 minute after the gunfire started, Trump said, "Let me get my shoes," as the agents formed a ring around him. It's another 30 seconds until Trump raised his fist to the crowd, who responded with cheers. As the former leader was ushered off the stage, his MAGA cap in hand, onlookers chanted "USA." President Trump paused briefly to pump his fist in the air before stepping off the stage. Immediately before disappearing into an SUV, and just 2 minutes after the assassination attempt started, Trump fisted his hands once more and turned briefly towards the crowd. As the car pulled away, heavily armed security forces dressed in khaki focus moved onto the scene.
Take a look at what happened.
I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Watch out.
Trump gave his first account of the shooting at 8:42 p.m., posting on his Truth Social site. "I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear," Trump wrote. "I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a racing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin." The White House said President Joe Biden was given an initial briefing of the incident by 6:50 p.m. "There is no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick, Biden told reporters in Boat Beach, Delaware. Shortly before 10:30 p.m., Biden's office said he had spoken to Trump and would cut short his speech weekend to return to Washington. The FBI identified the shooter as Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Pennsylvania, Bethel Park, according to U.S. media. Crooks was named by the FBI as the subject involved in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. The Secret Service said the shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position outside the rally before being neutralized by agents. Multiple witnesses said they saw the gunman before the shooting and alerted authorities. Trump supporter Ryan Knight said he saw the attacker on a nearby building. When I was sitting there, a guy said, "Oh God, he had a gun," Knight told journalists. Local police said they had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity, but gave no further details. The attacker was armed with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, U.S. media reported. The gunman and a bystander were killed at a rally, while two spectators were critically wounded. Two witnesses told U.S. media they saw a man fatally shot in the head. The man beside me suffered a gunshot to the head, was instantly killed, and another woman looked like she got hit in a forearm or hand, a man whose name was only given as Joseph told NBC News. A second witness who said he was an emergency doctor said he went to help after someone shouted that a person had been shot. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the branches. He had a headshot here, he said, indicating a spot on his head in comments shared widely in U.S. media. "There's lots of blood and he had brain matter," said the man who was wearing a white USA t-shirt stained with blood. The Kremlin on Saturday warned that the deployment of U.S. missiles in Germany could make European capitals targets for Russian missiles in a repeat of Cold War-style confrontation. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov spoke of a paradox in which Europe is a target for our missiles, our country is a target for U.S. missiles in Europe. "We have enough capacity to contain these missiles, but the potential victims are the capitals of these countries," he said, speaking to Russian state television channel Russian 1. Peskov also hinted that such a confrontation could undermine Europe as a whole, in the same way that the Cold War ended with the sovereign Soviet Union's collapse. Europe is coming apart. Europe is not living its best moment. In a different configuration, a repeat of history is inevitable, he said. The White House announced on Wednesday during a NATO summit that it would periodically station long-range weapons, including Tomahawk cruise missiles in Germany from 2026 as a deterrent. Exercising these advanced capabilities will demonstrate the United States' commitment to NATO and its contributions to European integrated deterrence, the White House said. The Kremlin has already criticized the move, accusing Washington of taking a step towards a new Cold War and of directly participating in the conflict in Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry on Friday said that Defense Minister Andrei Belosov held a phone call with U.S. counterpart Lloyd Austin, where they discussed lowering the risk of possible escalation. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has hailed the U.S. decision despite criticism from members of his Social Democrats. The decision marks a return of U.S. cruise missiles to Germany after a 20-year absence. Defending the decision, Scholz told reporters at the NATO summit that it was something of deterrence and in securing peace, and it is a necessary and important decision at the right time. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius told broadcaster Deutsche Landfunk that the deployment decision addressed a very serious gap in the country's capabilities. Responding to the Kremlin's warning that U.S. missiles deployment could put European capitals at risk, a U.S. State Department spokesperson said the United States and NATO do not seek a military conflict with Russia, but any military action directed against a NATO ally would trigger an overwhelming response. Russia is the most significant and direct threat to Allies' security and to peace and stability in the Euro-Atlantic area, the spokesperson said, adding it was Russia that started this war and Russia could end it today. The German army does not have long-range missiles that launch from the ground, only cruise missiles that can be fired by aircraft. The 1980s deployment of U.S. perishing ballistic missiles in West Germany at the height of the Cold War prompted widespread demonstrations, with hundreds of thousands coming out in Pacific protest. U.S. missiles continue to be stationed through the unification of Germany and into the 1990s. But following the end of the Cold War, the United States significantly reduced the number of missiles stationed in Europe as the threat from Moscow receded. Now, NATO countries, spearheaded by the United States, have been bolstering their defense in Europe following the start of Russia's military campaign in Ukraine in 2022. Around 9,000 people have been evacuated in northeastern Canada because of raging wildfires, officials said Saturday. Residents of the towns of Labrador City and Wabash in Newfoundland and Labrador province were ordered to leave their homes, said Provincial Fire Duty Officer Jeff Modi. We are seeing extreme fire behavior out there. The fire is moving about 50 meters per minute, Modi said. Images shared on social media showed lines of cars waiting to fill up at gas stations as the sky was obscured by enormous clouds of smoke. It was quite a shock to see that much smoke, Labrador City resident Stacy Hunt told public broadcaster CBC. And it's been in pretty much the same place for hours now. In this remote region, residents must evacuate more than 500 kilometers or 320 miles east via the only road available. Modi said that the intensity of the fire made it impossible to use water bombers. On Saturday morning, Labrador City's mayor, Belinda Adams, again urged residents to evacuate. The fire is still active, she said in a video posted on social media. Federal authorities said Friday that the weather had been favorable for limiting fires since the start of summer, but that the country was entering the peak wildfire season. Last year, the country recorded the worst fire season in its history. Drier and hotter conditions in many parts of the country caused by climate change have increased the risk of major fires in recent years, according to experts. Canada is currently battling 575 active fires with more than 400 considered out of control. Many fires have broken out in recent days, particularly in the west of the country that has experienced a heat wave. Senior citizens sway to old-time tunes at a former kindergarten in northern China as educators turn aside away from children in the face of a rapidly aging population and the baby bust. Hundreds of millions of Chinese are set to enter old age in the coming decades, while the country's chronically low birth rate leaves ever fewer people to replace them, official statistics show. The crisis is already hitting the education sector, with thousands of preschools closing around the country as enrollments dry up. But others are changing with the times, such as a facility in Shaanxi province, which has traded scattering children for a more mature cohort. The problem became particularly evident as the number of children continued to decrease, Principal Li Ziling, 56, told AFP. After my kindergarten MB out, I thought about how to make the best use of it, she said. Li's preschool was founded in 2005 and once served as many as 280 children but closed last year. It reopened in December as Impressions of Youth, a recreational center for people of retirement age and above. The space in the provincial capital, Taiyuan, boasts around 100 adult learners of music, dance, modeling, and other subjects. It's quite a progressive idea, Lee said. They come to fulfill some of the dreams they had when they were young. On a rainy morning this month, a modeling instructor led a line of immaculately woman as he hate around the classroom in traditional Cheongsam dresses and pink all-paper parasols. In another class, students sat in a semicircle beating African drums in time to soaring socialist songs. He Ying, age of 63, said joining the center had helped her overcome a post-retirement lack of confidence and meet new friends. I used to feel that my cultural life was very impoverished, that there wasn't much meaning in going on living, she told AFP. People here are not just waiting to grow old. Nearly 15,000 kindergartens closed in China last year as enrollments plunged by 5.3 billion compared to 2022, according to government data. A dusty industrial Shaanxi where the overall population is falling, there were 78,000 more deaths than births last year. The center bears traces of its past, with bunk beds and dinky writing desks lining the colorfully decorated walls of former classrooms. For Yang Si, who used to teach at the kindergarten but now leads classes for retirees, the shift has taken some getting used to. Little kids just believe whatever you say, but the elderly have their own ways, she said. But I have to think harder about how to communicate with them, Yan told AFP. Several other facilities across China have found success by broadening from preschool to senior education, according to local news reports. Student Sun Lin Shi, age of 56, said they met a need for universities for the elderly. Since joining the center in Taiyuan, I feel like I am young again, she told AFP. China saw a significant rise in the senior population last year, adding nearly 70 million people aged 60 and above, according to official statistics. That age group already makes up more than 20% of the population, a proportion that is expected to rise to nearly a third by 2035, according to the Economics Intelligence Unit, a research group. Beijing plans to introduce a relatively sound national elderly care system by 2025, but the country lacks nursing homes and faces wide regional disparities in coverage. Top leaders would likely discuss the future of what they call the silver economy at the key economic meeting in the capital next week. The government estimates that products and services catering to the elderly, from senior-friendly tourism to technology-driven medical care, could be worth 30 trillion yuan or $4.30 trillion by 2035. But it has struggled to revive the plummeting birth rate, a major driver of China's mismatched demographics. Li, the principal, said she felt nostalgic for the days when her school teamed with boisterous kids. I was very emotionally invested in it, she said, gesturing towards the disused bunks and desks. We kept those as a kind of memento. Coming up on koolNews at 4, Vice President Sara Duterte's designated Zavero joke is poor and tastes according to a lawmaker. In sports, thirdly, Ravenna shares court moment with Kaylee Thompson in pickup. And in entertainment news, Dominic Roque after mutual split with Pierre Alonso, moving on with everything. And Beanie announced as pre-show performer for KCON Los Angeles 2024. Stick around, koolNews at 4 will return after these messages. We will be right back. Welcome back. Vice President Sara Duterte's sub-appointment as the designated survivor is poor in taste and a reflection of a dangerous and outdated approach to politics that we must leave behind, Anakalusugan Party List Representative Ray Reyes said on Sunday. The lawmaker also said to Duterte's joke trivializes the serious matter of national security. Duterte named herself a designated survivor after she was asked if she would attend the third State of the Nation address, Sona of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on July 22. In the United States, a designated survivor is a government official chosen to stay at a secure location during events where top leaders are gathered to ensure the continuity of government in case a catastrophic event kills or incapacitates the president, vice president, and other top officials. As a nation striving for unity and progress, we cannot afford to indulge in toxic politics that undermine the trust and cooperation necessary for effective governance, Reyes said. In Bagong Pilipinas, we envision a country free from the shadows of toxic politics, he added. The lawmaker also urged public officials to rise above petty politics and contribute positively to the nation's development. The future of our country hinges on our collective efforts to create a political culture that prioritizes the welfare of the Filipino people. It is high time we move beyond the politics of fear and division and work towards a united, prosperous, and resilient Philippines, he added. Earlier, House Speaker Martin Romualdez said every public official has the prerogative to decide on their attendance at significant events, but the SONA should feature unity among the country's leaders. House Secretary General Reginald Velasco believes Duterte was just joking when she named herself a designated survivor because there is no such thing in the country. Duterte did not provide any reason or explanation for why she opted to skip the SONA. Last month, Duterte resigned as Secretary of the Department of Education and Vice Chair of the National Task Force to end local communities' armed conflict. Her resignation will take effect on July 19, which is 5 days from now. Senator Sonia Angara will replace her as Education Secretary. And now for sports, Terry Ravenna shared a moment with the four-time NBA champion and newest Dallas Maverick Klay Thompson in the United States anew. Exactly a month after meeting and playing pickup basketball with Thompson, Ravenna shared on his Instagram that he had a chance to meet and talk to the five-time NBA All-Star who was even wearing a jersey of Dallas Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki. The former Ateneo star had a chance to play with Thompson last June 13. The 34-year-old shooting guard recently ended his 13th tenure with the Golden State Warriors, the franchise he helped build a championship dynasty with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Thompson was acquired by the Mavericks, the 2024 NBA runner-up, through a sign and trade to form a new big three with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Ravenna is currently a free agent after parting ways with San Neophonics, who made him a trailblazer of Filipino imports in the Japan B-League 4 years ago. Ravenna played his best B-League season with San with an average of 12.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 2.9 assists in 57 games. He also won the Impressive Asia Player of the Year. The Neophonics topped the Central Division and claimed the number 2 seed in the playoffs, but fell to eventual champions Hiroshima Dragonflies in the quarterfinals. And now for showbiz news, Dominic Roque is moving forward with his life after his mutual split with ex-finance B.A. Alonso, saying he's keeping himself busy. Roque said in the Balitanghali report broadcast Thursday, July 11, that he didn't have anything to say when asked if he initiated the breakup between himself and Alonso. Wait, wala naman ako he said while laughing. Meanwhile, in a GMA News report, the actor said he is moving on with everything and is keeping himself busy with life after the split. Moving on with everything, work, family, and keeping myself busy sa mga bagay-bagay, he said. The ex-couple announced their engagement in July 2023 when Roque proposed to Alonso in Bataan. They eventually called off their engagement in February 2024. In an interview with Tatler Asia, Alonso said they ended their engagement in January, a month before making it public. She also disclosed that their breakup was mutual, and while they tried to make things work, people decided they didn't want to tie the knot anymore. Before we announced it, we have been trying to work things out for months. It's not like it happened overnight, it was a progress for both of us. She was quoted as saying, I guess I also have to thank him because had he not been courageous enough actually to acknowledge that there was something wrong in our relationship, I may have continued to be carried away by the pressures of society. And good news for Blooms out there, the popularity of the P-pop girl group BINI has reached new heights as they were announced as a pre-show performer for KCON Los Angeles on July 27. Oh, looks like BINI is going global, guys. The official X, formerly Twitter page of KCON USA, announced that BINI is one of the performers for the pre-show of the M Countdown stage on Sunday, July 14. This makes BINI the first P-pop group to reach this milestone. Such special lineup, BINI, July 27, Saturday, M Countdown pre-show. Artist lineup and the event schedule may be subject to change or cancel under certain circumstances, it's post-read. Following the news, BINI's Malloy and Sheena took to their solo X accounts to express their excitement about their upcoming appearance. Other members of the girl group reposted the announcement on their respective pages as well. So here's what Malloy said. I am so excited. A hashtag BINI. Sheena just crying with the emoji with sobbing. Details about BINI's set, including the songs they will perform, are yet to be announced as of this writing. Considered one of the biggest K-pop festivals, the annual KCON is organized by Korean production and distribution company CJENM, which aims to expand the growing industry's influence in different parts of the world. For this year's edition, KCON will be held in Los Angeles in the US, Germany, and Saudi Arabia. Previous legs were held in Hong Kong and Japan. The 3-day KCON LA will be held at the Crypto.com Arena, Los Angeles Convention Center, and Gilbert Lindsay Plaza in Los Angeles, California, in the US. The stages included in the festival are the M Countdown, where BINI is included as a pre-show performer, showcase, meet and greet, and KCON stage. Some of the biggest names included in the Los Angeles leg of the festival are Shinlee's Taemin, Aeolin, Enhypen, and NCT 127, to name a few. BINI, which debuted in June 2021, exploded in popularity after their hit song Pop Tropical went viral 2 years later. They recently wrapped up their 3-day BINI-verse concert at the New Frontier Theater in Kansas City and are currently embarking on the tour. And following YouTuber Tisu Young's recent revelation about her being assaulted and financially exploited by her former boyfriend for 4 years, a group of YouTubers were suspected to have blackmailed her for money in exchange for keeping quiet about her past. The revelation shocked and angered viewers over what many are calling the moral bankruptcy of the so-called cyber whackers who make a profit by posting rumors or negative news about celebrities, often in a maliciously edited form. The term describes from toe tracks or whackers, likening the actions of the posters to privately run tow trucks that flash their lights and use sirens despite not being state-approved emergency vehicles. A recently revealed recording suggested that YouTuber Go Jin-yuk, whose real name is Lee Jong-yi, had blackmailed Lee Soo-young, whose real name is Park Jung-won, with fellow YouTubers Kara Kula and John Gun-jin potentially involved. It captured Lee discussing with the other two about making money off Park's painful past. In the recording, Lee told the others that Park had already paid him 11 million Korean won or $8,000 to keep quiet about her past, and the others advised him about further attacking one of the most profitable domestic YouTube channels. They suggested that it would be better to have Park take care of them rather than to release a video about her past, saying she makes enough money to pay them off. Lee and Carla have denied the accusations, with Jeon remaining silent as of Friday. Lee vowed to reveal what he claimed was the truth about the situation without mentioning the 11 million Korean won, while Carl Kula said he would refute the accusations in future videos. And looks like our time is up, so that will be it for Cool News at 4. As always, you can send a news tip or feedback to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I am Asper, and we will see you later for more headlines at 6 p.m. Goodbye for now.